What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video. So today we're going to go over tips and tricks on how to edit this Milky Way photo that I took the other night. As always, to keep this channel growing, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you guys are notified when I bring out new videos. Comment below if you have any questions. And now let's get into this tutorial. Alright, so let's begin here. So this is the reference photo or the before photo, and here is the after photo. I will show you my metadata for the original photo just in case you are curious. So Canon 5D Mark IV 16-35 f4 lens. I shot this at 25 seconds at f4, 16 millimeters, ISO 4000. So now let's get into editing this photo. So first off, we are going to do the profile corrections. This is pretty wide angle, so distortion of the building's a little off, so we are going to fix that ourselves. So vertical, let's bring that down a little bit, make it a little bit more straight. And then rotate it. There we go. And I wanted to crop anyway, so we will crop in probably a little bit more of the Milky Way. Press enter, and there we go. So it's pretty much corrected there. And now up to the settings right here. So highlights, those are going to be brought down. This really starts to, you can see that already, how you can see it a lot more. Shadows, of course, we'll bring those back up. In the foreground right here, the barn, the road, and the tree right here were lit with my headlamp. So with a nice long exposure, the headlamp gave me a nice clean exposure for the foreground. So the whites right here, we'll bring those up also. Again, that changes drastically the sky and the stars, and you can already see a difference with that. And the blacks we're going to bring back down, and you can see the difference that makes also with the sky. Right now I'm not worrying about the foreground, as we're going to brush some exposure back into that. Now the texture, that is going to bring in some more fine detail of the sky right there. You can just see the difference between that. Now clarity, I do like to still bring that down a little bit to give that nice glow look to my photos, but not as much as you can see that it does take away the texture that we just put on. The dehaze setting right here I found is probably the best selection that you can use for Milky Way photos. If you bring that up, you can see how much of a difference that makes. So we'll bring that up quite a bit. And if you're wondering why it is hard to see the Milky Way, it is because I am in Ohio, so we don't have the darkest skies, but there is some farmland out there, so you can get away a little bit from the city, but not too much. And we'll take a look at the vibrance and saturation a little bit later. So, but now we're gonna go to the tone curve right here. So the tone curve, you know, you just wanna make sure you use it in a way that makes sense. So highlights, we'll bring those down once again. The lights will bring down also just a tad. And of course the darks again. And the shadows, we'll bring that back up to bring in that foreground a little bit more. And now back up here, let's add just a little bit of contrast. Contrast also helps with the sky too, so we'll just add just a little bit there. Let's do about 10. And now let's go to color balance, which is my favorite to do. So really, you can make it really blue, or you can go more warm, which I did in my post on Instagram. So we'll do a little bit in between here. So we'll set it at around, we'll go a little bit warmer than what I shot it at. And then of course we'll add a little bit of tint in there. And now we can go down to vibrance, and we can pick that up quite a bit for after. Alright, now we're going to mess with the foreground a little bit more, so let's bring up the brush right here. Press O on your keyboard to see where your mask is, and we're going to put that mask on the foreground. Alright, perfect. Now we can turn the mask off, and now we can edit this a little bit more. So the shadows we can bring up again. We're going to warm up the foreground just a little bit, and we're going to bring up the exposure just a tad, not too much. So before and after. We'll go down to the vignette right here, and just a tad right there. And now we can do another mask on the sky right here. We're gonna do a little bit of colors. All right, turn that mask off. So we'll just add a little bit more contrast here. Bring up the whites just a little bit. Bring down the blacks. Add a little bit more color in that, just the sky though. A little bit of saturation. Do a little bit more dehaze. Show it off just a little bit more. Perfect, so before and after. And of course, this is where you guys can go in and tweak it just a little bit more. I think the foreground should be a little bit brighter here. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we're gonna go down to noise reduction. At 4000 ISO, the 5D Mark IV handled it pretty well. About 20, give it a little bit more cleaner look, and perfect. And now we're gonna go import this into Photoshop. All right, now that it's imported into Photoshop, let's create a new layer here, Command J on Mac. And we're gonna use a spot healing brush to get rid of these planes in the sky and whatever else we think should go. Perfect. And then we can do another little scope here and see where else we can take out. Great, and on to the next. And now you can just go around and see if there's anything else that you want to take out. And of course we can add a little bit of sharpening, so filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. I'm usually pretty good around 50 to 70 if I'm happy with that. And there you go. That is how you edit a Milky Way photo. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys learned a little bit. And if you guys did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in my next video.